and he's gonna have a shit for half an hour, and then we're not gonna see Pat because he'll be shit.
Okay, so if
we just start when we're ready.
Yeah, so if we talk about like beginning of the night, to celebrate, we went to fill out our tummies with tzatziki and food, much like hummus. Okay.
All through the evening, there was a hummus.
It was coming from Pat's bummus.
No, that works. Okay, yeah, okay. That's all the rhyming we could think of on the spot for being a Dr. Seuss. We're not good at rhyming.
I'm at the end of the film
where
he's driving back with the presents.
Yes.
Scrolled it and not seen it.
Who hasn't seen the film yet?
And with all the rare roast beef. Oh wait, no,
roast
beast. Yeah,
yes.
Sorry, my mistake. So, do you think Dan is actually just gonna pop into the call, or is he just not gonna go on?
I don't think he's coming.
No, because Coral's around. He won't.
I don't think he's bothered about missing this one. No offense.
Fine. Yeah, it's true.
To be fair, if he misses this one and then comes back for the next slot, that's kind of ideal, to be honest, because he doesn't have to watch back, and we can just put him straight back in. Night, Jen. Love you.
Night, Alec.
Yeah, you know which one it was that time.
He won't settle because he knew the voices, so I might as well leave the door open.
You can talk about me. I'm right here.
You don't settle anyway, Alec.
No, he never does.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you don't either.
I like your glasses, man.
Yeah, good.
Oh, thanks.
You look like Doc Ock.
I remember your stress goggles. They're the glasses he was wearing when we was preparing for his wedding.
Oh man, yeah. I've had to get some. I just got my eyes tested, so after 2 years, I have to get some slightly stronger ones now.
Oh no, that's the sign of getting old.
You've said the 34-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, are you
33?
Oh,
yeah.
Alex is aging up.
I'm 32.
That really like messed with my head for a second because I was like, was Ben held back again? And why didn't I know until now?
No, Ben's like Benjamin Button.
Aging backwards. I'm 34, but I look a lot older.
That was great when you were like, do I look older or younger? And I was like,
yes.
Younger. Definitely younger.
But you ever think of doing the like LASIK surgery?
I think it was
Laser eye surgery.
Yeah. Like, you know, just like to like scrape out your like retinas so they can be like more refreshed. I think I don't know.
Oh, that would creep me out.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to do it, but the surgery looks terrifying. So it's like, I think I might shit my pants before you get to my eyes. I don't think that's nice.
For the few, I only heard of a few people who got it, but they recommend it.
Or just laser eye surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That scares me, man. I'd rather just wear glasses.
Yeah, the same. I don't like the thought of it. It's just too horrible.
Oh yeah,
even that. Like the way they do it is just like it just sounds like it shouldn't be done. So they like flip the lens of your eye inside out, right?
Yeah.
Well, like,
and if it goes wrong,
it's very, very rare.
No, I'm happy with glasses.
Oh, as John says, they're the only fashionable accessory that you can wear to work.
True, yeah.
Right.
Saying that, the only reason I'm wearing this right now is because I'm on the computer. So I'm playing The Sims. I only wear them for when I'm using a computer.
Oh, really? Oh, let's go. You're on your
So
phone.
that's
Right? Yeah.
short sighted or long sighted. I always get that wrong around. So you're long sighted, so you can see far away, but you can't see close up.
Oh no, I'm the opposite.
So short sighted, but it's the terminology that all gets mixed up.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm also long-sighted.
Wait, so you can see close up, but not far away.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it's more the kind of I don't have 20/20 vision basically, and because of that, if I'm working on a computer, especially for a long period of time, I'll start getting lots of headache because
Okay.
so I'm also light. I also have light sensitivity, which just makes it worse. So I need to wear glasses when I'm on the computer, but basically for nothing else, unless I'm trying to read some small text quite far away, which like never happens.
Mm.
Okay. So it's
Anyway.
Lunchtime.
It's 11:05.
I just finished the film. Nice.
Ah, I don't believe you. But do you have a nomination for this round?
Nomination. What are
Yeah.
those?
What are those?
Done for
They
like
are
20
my
rounds.
crocs.
First time when else heard of it.
You can nominate a film for this round. Would you like to pick this one? Or would you like to
I don't know what a film is, but I can nominate a film.
Oh, okay. Well, if you don't want to be fun about it, that's okay. So we've got Harakiri, A Bug's Life, Magnificent Seven, Shoot, Pinocchio, and Grinchy Poos.
It sounded like you said a bug left. No, it's just
Yeah.
like
Well,
some bugs did leave and come back. You're right.
I wish all bugs would leave. Genuinely.
I think Camilla would be very happy about that.
Hmm.
Though there's one in particular, mainly. Anyway. Wait, what was the Magnificent Seven again?
That was the one with the cowboys.
The whole film.
7 of them.
Yeah, that was a great one, but not that one.
Not good enough.
I think that would have
Very
been
harsh.
that'd have been quite a bad lead up to a nomination. It's like, which one was that one? Oh, the one with the cowboys. Oh yeah, that one. That'd be great.
I mean, I'm just it's a toss up between Hello Kitty and A Bug's Life.
Oh, I thought you was going to say Heat.
Nah. It had a few too many annoying things in it, even though it's a good film to receive a point. I think Harakiri. It's just
Whoa.
Wins.
Whoa. Right. So we've now had 2 for Harakiri, 2 for Magnificent Seven, and 2 for Pinocchio. So I think that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, there's 6 of us. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yes.
Humphrey couldn't get his finger out of somebody. Anyway,
You mean his nose?
yeah, I said somebody, like his
Yeah.
nose, which is its own person. Yeah.
okay.
Let's talk about the Grinch.
Go on, Simon. Why did you pick the Grinch?
I mean, I didn't really pick it, right? It picked us, which is the point.
I've had to field this question all week now because I'm like, they're like, what film are you doing this week? And I'm like, it's I need to give you a lead up really, and then I'll just tell the whole thing, and they're like, oh no, oh.
When I got here, my mum said, "What film have you watched this week?" And I said, How the Grinch Stole Christmas." And she said, "How the Grinch spell Christmas?" And I went, "Yeah."
But was she smiling at least, or confused a little bit? You know,
I'm not sure she understands why we watch the Christmas film in March, but neither do I. So
we understand exactly.
you understand, because I am, and I wonder the embodiment of chaos and chance roll the
Yeah.
dice. Choice was number 5, and it was The Grinch. Look,
You know what,
The
though?
Grinch is not a bad movie. What's up?
I was just going to say, when Rachel asked what film we were watching, I said How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and she went Simon, and I went
Oh,
Okay.
very good.
Okay, yeah. So my reputation precedes me. Yeah, so that's great. So, pure amount of chance and chaos. This is the film that we chose. That's the reason I chose it. Is it? It's probably one of the better troll choices I could have chose instead of my just depressing choices that I chose for a movie. But this is a great movie in itself. Could have went way more darker for my choices, but this is probably good. This is probably good. This is a good level of why or that's crazy. That's funny. So it's in between, and that's perfect level of mixture of chemistry of madness, and that's just the reason why I chose this movie, because it's also just a bit crazy of the madness, because it's a lot of weird Jim Carrey moving around jokes and a few quite adult jokes which we didn't understand as kids, but as adults watching it are quite funny. That's a good reason to choose this film. So yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, to
Go
be
on,
fair,
go forth.
of all of the picks that were possible, it was the one where I was going, I really don't want it to be this. But in defense of it, when we announced it, it was quite a nice moment for us all to be like, why are we watching that?
Genuinely.
This one, that was worth it.
I don't think I could have hoped for a better outcome. What have we got? How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Beautiful.
Yeah. It was quite nice watching it as well, to be fair, because I think I went to see it in the cinema when I was 10, and I don't think I've seen it since. So it was quite nice for that reason.
Bless.
How was watching it on the train and in public, Emmanuel?
Fine. I didn't even really think, to be honest. I didn't.
Everyone on the tube was just like, man, that guy loves Christmas.
So much.
Funny though. It was really weird because there was at one point I wasn't hiding it. At one point I propped it up in my bag. I was like to Camilla. It's just laughing at the thing.
Camilla find it as well.
Yeah, there was one line that came up. She's like, "Oh, I haven't heard that in such a long time." There's I don't know if you could hear her.
Not really.
She said, "The unmitigated gall." Apparently, yeah, that's a great line. I think it's about the same. I feel like it's about as good or the same as when I watched it way back when. All the differences, I see it from an adult perspective now. The fact that the kid was just making sense all along. I don't know what I really thought of it when I was a kid. I don't really remember my feelings on it, except, that was all right film. It was pretty good. I liked the song that he was singing.
Really?
Yeah, as a kid, I growing up, I used to always quote the 12.5-foot pole. I really liked the song, and I still do. It's a great song, playing words and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, I think it's a nice little film. I mean, the stuff I didn't learn this more to over the years, and also when I was more recently, how when I was younger, I found out how much pain he went through with the contacts
Mm.
part first. I was like, man, and then after, like more recently, the costume itself, I learned he had to do. He did some training with a Navy SEAL to withstand torture, so he could actually withstand all the kind of stuff he would have to do within the costume and still act as if it was completely fine.
Oh, he said that he had to train with someone who trained CIA operatives to withstand torture.
Yes.
Wow.
That's mad.
And because that makes it even more crazy. Because, like I was saying, when I was younger, I just knew about the contact scenes, which I thought was crazy enough. And I'm just like, this guy's going through so much pain for this man. He did well. Like,
Yeah, he described the suit as like being buried alive.
Yes.
I guess if you've got like that much like plastic and stuff like that, just all over like your face there, and he sat in 8 hours of makeup a day to do it. And
it was mental.
I think just I I think I'm just like so impressed by like how much of his performance is coming through, and that's a lot of that's down to him, but a lot of that is also down to like the SFX or VFX. I forget which one it is.
Yeah, but most of it is him physically. That physicality, which he's of course known for, since he always really liked Charlie Chaplin and whatnot.
Slapstick.
It's SFX.
But yeah, it's so impressive. Anyway,
Would that count as an opening statement or
yeah, sorry, that was my opening statement.
cool? Well, you already tread on the birthday boys parade.
Oh,
Do you want-
sorry.
That's all right. I don't think you wanted to say anything. Ben, do you want to give your opening statement?
Good.
After all that,
Yeah, we went through all that for Edgard. But yeah, like Rob, I think I saw it when it came out. I haven't seen it much since, but maybe once. But I still had fond memories from it. Just because of Jim Carrey, I've always loved his work in every other film, and this was no exception. And I just, obviously, the Dr. Seuss stories from my childhood have always been prevalent growing up too. So I've always had that connection. And this is probably the most iconic of the bunch in a lot of ways. And I think it's, even if it is very dated in places, it still has the Dr. Seussness about it brought to life so well.
The sociality.
Yes. It's just exactly how, I don't know how Ron I was going to say Ron Perlman, Ron Howard managed to pull it off. But yeah, he's, because like Ron Howard is not like one of the most iconic directors, but he's a good workman, kind of like he knows what he's doing. He's just, every film he does, even if it's not mind-blowing or not terrible, it's kind of like straight down the middle. He knows what to direct. And I think this one had this weird zany energy to it when he did sort of the very cartoony elements that come across really well. And I think that's one of the things that sets it apart. And it could have been better if they kind of went more into the practical. If it was made a couple of years before, it would have been more like an 80s, early 90s film. But I think they put the CG in a little bit. That kind of dates it more than the practical effects do. But overall, it still blends in really well and nicely. And it's still just this weird fantasy, campy story with a lot of heart. And it's the spirit of the book is right there. They didn't dress it up or ruin it, and they did it as well as it could have been.
I think when you compare it to, because this is Ron Howard's actually like the second outing in Film Club, and I think when you compare it to A Beautiful Mind, it's actually a lot more believable, the visual effects, and because
Sorry. I just realized why James Horner's in the score. So
He did that soundtrack.
right there. Sorry, Carrie.
oh no, I'm just saying when you look at some of the aging prosthetics they're using in A Beautiful Mind, and it's like,
Yeah, I
damn,
forgot about that.
you could have really stood to use a bit more of the Grinch energy there. That was kind of more believable when a bloke was green. I believe Jim Carrey's green more than I believe Russell Crowe's old in that movie. But yeah,
It's the eyes, I think, man. Like they just because they're like so non-human, you can just buy into everything else so much
Mhm.
easier.
Yeah,
Yeah. the non-humanity kind of thing. This really the Grinch really like scared me as a kid. So I never like watched it because like from what I saw, it was just like this smile that just keeps going up and up and up and up, and I was like, nah, you're all right. You can keep that one. Bye. And so I just didn't engage with it whatsoever.
But this
And
Jim
then
Carrey's normal smile. He just have
yeah,
that really wicked, awesome, like bigger than his face smile, maybe.
even like the old cartoon when it like just keeps curling, and I was like, nah, it's okay. You have it. But yeah, eventually I did watch it, and yeah, I decided I liked it. And I think there was actually one time where I said I was watching it, and Ben was like, "Oh, do you actually like the Grinch?" And I was just like, "Of course I like it. I'm in it." But yeah, big fan, honestly. I found like a new. I think when you picked it, I was like, "Oh, this would be fun. Like this is kind of like just a, you know, this is just a bit of a fun time." But yeah, I think watching it sort of with a little bit of an analytical eye, I'm just kind of like, no, I just generally like this. Like this is really functioning, like very well. I gained a bit more of an appreciation for it than I have ever done. I think when I watched it with Eb the other night, and I was fucking laughing my ass off. I thought this was I thought this was a really funny film. Uh, but yeah, it's also it's one of those ones where I'm like, let's look for contrivances, and then I kind of go, and I was just like, yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone's yodeling up here, but like, whatever, I can let it go.
I
I'm
mean,
not.
like, if we want to talk contrivances, they had the chutes that shot garbage up a mountain to
Yeah.
the thing, where that doesn't make sense physically, it's like, because that's a contrivance, but
it's
like,
also, I was gonna say, it's also like a little world on a snowflake, so it's kind
Yeah,
of
so it's like-
this.
like it's like, it's microscopic. This is all like,
Microcosm that would probably last what, like 10 minutes, and then so you have to think the passage of time for the Who's is so much different to ours. So
I think as well. I think the most sort of tonal whiplash I got was knowing that Cindy Lou Who is now the lead singer of the Pretty Reckless, and I'm like, damn, I've seen your bum, and that's not a cool. You don't like feeling that, huh?
Was she?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
so-
Taylor Momsen.
Man.
he grew up.
It's really fucking odd. I don't like it.
Little kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's the thing, right? So when she first came on screen, I was like, I feel like I've seen that face before, but I have no idea why. And then I googled her, and I was like, oh, that's
Man,
quite
see
an
more than her
innovation.
face. Ah.
it didn't come
Oh,
on
yeah.
before in essence that time. We could have really done without.
that's the
But
thing. Like they're really fucking racy music videos. I'm just like Jesus. So yeah, that was the worst I had for it, really. But on that note, Roberto, you can follow that one.
I was saying to Ben earlier, like tonally, it kind of felt like Tim Burton's Batman films to me because it's the same kind of like sort of
can be
kind of
silliness.
like magical wintry thing. And on that level, I was really getting into it, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. I think with your average Christmas film, unless it's like something that I just like really love generally, it is handicapped a little bit just because like the time in between Christmases is my favorite time. But yeah, no, there is something magical about it, and I suppose that's most of what the film's going for, right? And it's nice that we finally got a Doctor Zeus film in Film Club, even though there's not particularly any good ones. But like, it's
Well,
nice to have that name in Film Club.
well, I mean, like you
I'd call
could.
this a good one.
Yeah, I was about to
What's
say
a good
this
one?
is like the only good one. I mean, would you rather see Cat in the Hat, to be honest, with
Well, yeah, no,
Christmas?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying there could have been a better choice.
To be fair, I think it's the best live action one. Like Horton Hears a Who is actually not bad because it's animated and they've,
Oh yeah, okay,
and they
fair
know
enough.
what they're
That
doing.
one's okay.
But Cat in the Hat is just.
Yeah, it's,
But credit to Jim Carrey as well, because like it's one of those weird things where it's very much a Jim Carrey performance, but I kept forgetting it was Jim Carrey. So it's like,
used.
yeah.
but
And
it's
that's not
not.
just because of the prosthetics. Like it's like I don't know. I think he's a bit of a weird one for me because I always kind of went like, oh, I don't really see the appeal with him and whatever, and he always sort of plays a different version of himself and that kind of thing. But I think recently I'm kind of changing my stance on him a little bit because I saw an interview with him where he's talking about his like mental health struggles and all of that kind of stuff, and he basically talks about how like as a person he's very different to the Jim Carrey that we all kind of know, and how like that's a character that he sort of came up with to make people feel good when they see him. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of reassessing where I am with Jim Carrey, and I think this film sort of solidified that a little bit.
I mean, like, unless you want to talk about Jim Carrey as Truman, right? And it's like, oh yeah, that's actually more of real Jim Carrey because it's kind of depressed, kind of reclused into his little mind and in his own little world. And like when he does the Grinch or when he does Ace Ventura, he's always wild and wacky and crazy. It's like, yes, this is outside me and this is inside me. Yes. Which actually is a unfortunate thing that happens with a lot of comedians, unfortunately, because like if we want to talk about really famous people who are like really funny when they're on the show and like kind of have like dark depressing things, we can talk about like unfortunately like Robin Williams, which is like yeah, because he had that as well, because he's very outgoing when he does his stand-up and when he does his stuff, but it's also he only had incredible depression, which is an unfortunate thing that happens with actors and comedians, and that's quite sad in itself. Yeah. But like obviously this film's portrayal is not, it's still him, but it's also not him as well, if you know what I mean. So is that like a good, because it's like it's still the very wacky, zany, weird ooga booga like scary movements, but it's like I feel like that's part of the Grinch itself, like in like maybe not exactly like in the book, but like I feel like that's the style of what he goes for. It's kind of gross, he's kind of green, and it's kind of like well, it's what he aims to do. So I don't know if it's like a point for the movie or the point for his acting, because
I think it's a bit of both, man.
Yeah, I was just thinking, right? It's the main thing is I'm trying to show you that this movie is quite a good movie, even without it being a Christmas movie, even though the whole main plot is about that countdown to Christmas.
Yeah, no, to be fair, like I think if you're going to pick a Christmas film during the year, then this isn't a bad choice, because it's sort of, I mean, it's very much a Christmas film, yeah, but like it's like with the Muppet Christmas Carol, for example. I can't really imagine watching that at any other time but Christmas. But I think with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, like you kind of, it's Christmas centric, but there's a nice message whether it's Christmas or not.
Yes, which is the kind of like the Die Hard way of it. Could I watch Die Hard any other time of the year? Yes, but you should watch it on Christmas time because it's more better. Can I watch this film any time of the year? Yeah, I guess, but like it's got Christmas in the name. Yeah, but I can't watch it. But I want to watch it at Easter time. So sure.
Yeah, why aren't there Easter films? That's like,
Oh, they are. They're just all
There
about
are.
Jesus. They're just about Jesus and their crap.
Or Peter Rabbit.
when is Christmas? It's next, no, not Christmas. Easter's next week. Isn't
It's
it?
the 25th of December.
Maybe next week we can have like a life of Brian or something.
Oh, we could watch Hop with Russell.
Hop. Oh yeah, Hop. I completely forgot that existed.
Yeah, so that's the reason why you don't watch. There's no Easter movies because you could go. Oh yeah, I forgot they exist.
We could have Russell Brand. Just like, oh, we could not. That'd be fine.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Because it could be like, isn't it like a trope in like 80s movies or like something, or 70s movie where so and so goes save Christmas, but you don't really have. You could have like the band Kiss saves Christmas, or it could be like it could be anything saves Christmas, but it's like you can't really have saves Easter. It doesn't sound right. It's like, yeah, Kiss save Easter. Wait, what? It just doesn't sound right.
The trouble is, and I always have a moan about this one, Easter's always on a different fucking day. So I never fucking remember it. And everyone's like, why don't you ever remember Easter? I'm like, if it had it was like Christmas and it got its act together and it had a certain day that it was actually on, I'd fucking remember it. But it doesn't, so I don't. So fuck it.
Also, that's like Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's different in here than in the
Thank
States.
you.
I never know when is Mother's Day, Father's Day.
Yeah.
It's all over the world. It's a different day.
I assume someone will tell me when it is, but don't expect me to know it off my own back. Fuck it.
Yeah, I forget as well. And I say forget. I tend to know the day unless I look at the calendar. And it's of course it's because it's tied to Lent and different things that are going on. So it tends to be different because of the kind of period or celebration it's tied to. So and the Gregorian calendar changes every year. So
And it's not like supermarkets help you because they'll just go, Easter eggs. And I'm like, right, I don't know when it is, but I know it's not February. So fuck off.
Well, I mean, supermarkets have like mixed up those like holidays anyways. Like you start off like in October and it's supposed to be, oh, it's Halloween. But did I see a Christmas tree in the corner there? Yes, we're just preparing ourselves just to make sure. But it's still, but I know it's October, but it's like we're just preparing ourselves. That's why I see the wreath with that fucking wreath with like skulls and pumpkins. I'm like, is that right? Is that I feel like my holidays got completely mixed up. Rob, you're really confused. On my Instagram, there's a wreath that has like Halloween decorations, and it's just like, is this a thing now? I don't get it. Am I going?
Yeah, it's
I wish
amazing.
it was a thing, to be honest. I wish that Halloween over here was like they do it in America. Because for us, it kind of just comes and goes, but in America, they go all out, and I'd like that.
Well, I feel like it would need to be a lot more adult drinking themed, because it's like Halloween here, it's always been like trick or treat, yeah. But if you have Halloween in like the States, it's like a very big drinking party. Because I went to Halloween during the States, there are people who are crazy for Halloween to the point where it was when they were doing Breaking Bad and they were and like there was a Halloween costume like contest and they won, and they were giving out candy like in plastic bags, but it was like shaded blue. And they had to be stopped by security. It's like, look, we know it's candy, but the fact that you're giving out little baggies of blue powder to people looks really bad. We can't have you do this. But it's really good costume. But if you do it anymore, we'll have to kick you out of the club. It's like, all right, fine, we'll stop it now. But like, if it was like a much bigger like drinking party, like even in like London, Halloween is really, there's not enough people wearing weird or slightly costumes and drinking. It's just like, I mean, like, to be honest, right, there's
more sluts than the UK.
What? Okay. There's always a sexy version of something in you bastards. Don't do that.
Come on, Ben, your turn.
I'm wearing 2 layers.
I'll
That's
be
pretty-
all night getting through this.
That's pretty fucking slutty, you bloody slut.
But there's always a sexy version of a costume for all of the Halloween things. There's like a sexy version of Harry Potter. There probably could be a sexy version of the Grinch, but it would just be.
Well, we watched a big film with him.
He's on the call right now.
Oh shit! Are you gonna put on a lederhosen and start posing, right?
I don't need to put on a lederhosen. Ooh.
I'd rather that.
That
Please.
said, I'm not going.
You can take your X-ratedness for later. Thank you.
Yeah.
But like I say, in the States, there's a lot more sexier versions of characters that shouldn't really be sexy. Like there's a sexy Pac-Man I've seen as a costume. I'm like,
Pat joined just on time.
Sexy Pac-Man.
Pat's timing strikes again.
but like you see it and you go, that's it's weird, interesting. Hey man, how you doing?
Hey, it's the sexy Pac-Man.
Don't say that again.
Okay. But yeah, it's like
Gonna wear a sexy costume.
yeah, but it's just
And then it
like
was-
but like as I was saying, the holidays and stuff just get so clashed, mixed in supermarkets and stuff. Soon, I made a joke for making a Christmas movie during Easter, but in like a couple of years' time, we're gonna have like heart-shaped Easter. We're gonna have like hearts on Easter eggs for Valentine's Day and Easter, and it's just gonna be like all over the fucking place soon. And it's just be like,
Insanity.
it's like holiday season, generic holiday season. Yeah, just take whatever. Fuck it, spring. Here you go. Just capitalism. It's like terrible.
Speaking of capitalism, Pat, what was your opening statement?
I hate the district line.
Valid. Very valid.
Yes.
But it's linked to the Grinch because it's green.
Ah.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Very valid point.
Cool. Okay. Well,
It was all right. Like it's been a while since I saw the Grinch. I loved it when I was younger. Not so much now. I don't know if that's got something to do with sort of Christmas not having the same sort of feel as it did when I was younger, especially with no kids in the family. But
You said that
yeah,
like it was a hint.
is a what?
You said that like it was a hint.
Nah, there's no hint in here, my friend.
someone needs to come and give me a baby. Hashtag get Pat pregnant.
Nobody's getting near my brown eye.
Oh, no.
The film was okay. Like I thought I liked the relationship between the Grinch and the little girl, but everyone else got on my nerves.
Oh,
I'm surprised you think that because the little girl was the only one who got on my nerves.
Oh no, I thought the girl was sweet.
Yeah, she was sweet, but yeah, I don't know.
Like-
It's just one of those things where you go like, wow.
I get the point of her character. She was less about the presents, the sort of part of Christmas that's actually a bit shit. Not in terms of like people just expect material things for Christmas, but I think she had the right spirit of Christmas. And sort of wanted the Grinch to be a part of it all rather than just left out in the cold, which I thought was it's a really nice message to send.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
think that was like the best thing about it. To be honest, is like it's really inclusive in its message. Like, because
yeah,
I think the thing with Christmas that I don't know, I wouldn't say annoys me, but like the thing I don't like about it is that because it's like seen as the season where you're supposed to like get everyone a present and like you know you've got sort of all of like the toy companies are sort of marketing to children and all that kind of stuff. I always just think like if you're a family that's struggling and then your kids are kind of like measuring sort of like how good their Christmas is going to be based on like what they're going to get as presents. I'm always like, man, that's a lot of pressure for people to go through if you can't afford much.
yeah.
But yeah, I really like the message of the Grinch of like it sort of like counters that a little bit, which is good.
But yeah, that's probably the only thing that like when we talk about me not relating to anything. I think that's probably one of the few things I sort of can relate to. Like, especially like being from a family that's not exactly been sort of loaded when I was a kid. Like I was quite fortunate to get what I got, and I was appreciative of what I got. But then you see sort of kids now that just get like 2 grand's worth of toys thrown at them, and they still throw a tantrum because they can't have something that's an extra tenner.
Mm.
Mm,
That's the thing, though, isn't it? Because, like, I mean, obviously, when you're a kid, you don't really understand all that stuff. So when you've got all the adverts and stuff, sort of like pushing things onto you as well, you kind of,
yeah,
you
it's
just
where you
you,
got to
you
be
do it
got to be
quick.
strong as a parent and say no.
But that's the thing in itself, though, isn't it? Because it's like, I don't know, like it's a horrible thing because they're deliberately preying on people who don't understand, and that puts like this awful pressure on parents. So yeah, I suppose what I'm saying is that more films like The Grinch at Christmas.
I think this ties into like what I was saying about like the Grinch makes everyone like better because like they've kind of forgotten like like what the gay fucking spirit of Christmas is, which is like it's about family and like stuff like that. Sorry, family and like that's what that's about. And they've kind of, obviously you wanna you wanna bring loads of gifts to people that you love, and you want them to have like a good Christmas. And like somewhere along the way, that's kind of got confused with I need to fucking buy everything, and so that's caused the confusion in the Grinch, where he's gone like, oh right, it's just this giant fucking consumerism thing, and I don't want any part of it. And like, I think when he has a go at them and stuff about like how all their stuff like just gets bought and chucked away and how wasteful they are and that, like, I think that's probably like my favorite scene possibly. Um, but yeah, it's just like he does have a point, and him stealing all their stuff makes him realize that it's not about the presents, and then that causes him to go, "Oh fuck, it wasn't about the presents," and it's like, oh, it's all kind of him doing that was the catalyst to make everyone better, and then that kind of gives Cindy Lou Who a little, not the answer to like a little crisis thing, and it's like, oh, that's that. I don't know. It's just a nice. It's a nice thing that wouldn't have happened if the Grinch wasn't the Grinch, and it's like, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I really like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that was really nice. Like the whole kind of time when she asked him as fake Santa, what's Christmas about? She said, I guess so. It's just like, oh no, it's not. But you will find out.
You can't just lay out the moral of the story straight up. You gotta let it build up for him to ponder as he walks as he stares from the top of the mountain. They have no Christmas cheer, no Christmas. And so like I can't even remember the rhyme, and I'm not even going to bother fucking trying already. It's like too tired as well. But like, you know, that he has to come to the realization himself that goes, oh right, oh wait, it's not about the capitalist consumerism. It's about love, and oh, my heart is expanding for these eyes, and oh wait a second, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack. Okay. That would have been a very different ending to the story. Would the presents were just, would the presents were just stuck up.
It just ends with the Grinch having a stroke.
It's
He's
like,
actually gonna be like, "But I'm having a heart attack." The way he was, like, and I was just like, "Wait, this doesn't kind of line up." And he's like, "I'm feeling." Oh yeah, he does say that. Yes, got it.
That's one of those ones where like I forget it's Jim Carrey. Where he's just like, and I'm leaking. And it's like, he's just so the Grinch in there, and I'm just like, damn, that's so good. But like, honestly, that whole sequence where he's trying to when he's trying to stop the sleigh falling off of the peak of Mount Crumpet and everything. I like when I watched it, I could feel myself getting tense. Like my foot was like in prime like fucking tension position, and I was just like, "Hang on a fuck, what are you doing? Like, hang on, go back there. What?" And I was just like, "No, I'm invested. I'm really invested. I don't want him to. He cares, so I care. I don't want him to lose those fucking presents. We realize they're not the fucking thing, but like, you know." I want him to be able to bring him back to him. If he drops him, he can't do it. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. But I was just like, I'm really invested in this.
I mean, yeah, it's like, oh, character development, so much character development. Oh, it's fucking beautiful. But yeah, that is how it is actually. But it's like, I'm not like this. I'm not going to credit you or anything. I'm like, a lot of him and his revelations make him obviously give him the chance to be a better person. And obviously with the scene of the sled and everything else, it's like, I need my redemption arc. I need to make them know that I can be a better person, and that's a good thing to, you know, root for, because seeing people go, yeah, I can change to be a better person, even if I was such a Grinch and everyone else was shitty to me as well, but I can be a better person as well, and that's the main thing, and that's a good message, to be honest. Like, even no matter how shitty everyone else is to you as well, or well, actually no, the mayor guy who's shitty too. But like, it's like, if no matter how shitty he is, he can be better, and because he can be better, you want to root for him because it makes him the good guy, which is you know.
This is what I love when we have kids films, to be honest, because like, well, the well-made ones always have something nice to take from them, and they're a little bit sort of like life affirming. But the kind of thing like growing up, it's like a nice thing to implant into a kid's mind. But I think when you're our age, it's like it's just a nice thing to believe in.
Well, it's stuff like that, but it's also like you see how the adults act, and it's stuff like Cindy Lou Who's dad, and it's like he's characterized as being like, you know, he really needs his job, and he's really about like the status quo and not upsetting it, and he doesn't want to get in the mayor's way. And then by the end of it, he's defending his daughter against him, and he's standing up for her, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. I think when you yourself as an adult are worried about losing your job and challenging the status quo and stuff, like even that, something like that makes it like, if it feels really, really big for that character when he's just like, and she's right, by the way. And it's just like, fuck, man. Like, you know, I think this is the thing with kids' films. Like, you do generally get the thing where they're just like, oh, it's a kids' film, it doesn't fucking matter, and it's like, no, the good ones have stuff for adults as well.
Mm.
No. Yeah. there's actually quite a lot of that because there's stuff that I didn't pick up on until I watched it with Ed. Because like when we were watching the Grinch's origin story, and
Yes.
he's outside the ladies' windows and everything. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but did you notice people putting their keys in a fishbowl?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never picked up on it, but that was a swingers party.
I mean, there was the scene
Oh,
earlier before that, which was just as funny. It's like the baby has just been delivered to the doorstep, and the guy went outside, and I was like, "Hey, honey, our baby's been delivered." And he walks out and he goes, "He kind of looks like your boss." I was like, yes, okay, that's never understood. I mean, I probably didn't hear that joke at all as a kid, but listening to adult, I go, funny, a bit twisted, but funny. But yeah, that's all good. So, sorry, do you say so?
No.
Oh, okay. But it's like there's all the little meta jokes as a person that you as a child that you don't notice with the Grinch. It's like when he goes into the post office and he's just throwing letters into the thing. I'm like, what's like as
Jury.
he goes, yeah, what's
Jury
jury duty? What's jury duty? I don't know. But it's like taxes, blackmail,
Pink slip.
blackmail, jury duty. It's like, is he just give? I was like, as a kid, it's like, is he just giving more letters to give to the postman to do more work? I guess that's annoying. I don't want to do more work during Christmas. I was like, didn't realize like the intent of the letter. I was like, oh right, yeah, he was just being a dick.
yeah. Oh yeah, there's Camilla was pointing out a very valid point. Now, I know the Grinch is very hairy, but
Where is this going?
it's not a good place, unfortunately.
Oh no.
Oh, you know what I'm gonna say?
No.
Why was he stripping in front of the little kids?
Oh fuck.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
That was just usually that kind of stuff is when the animalized. It's just a random thing like, oh yeah, Winnie the Pooh and all them wear clothes. It doesn't matter, they're animals. This is just a hairy goo.
Oh, do you mean when he's like going like he's pretending to be a werewolf and he's like ripping his shirt and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if not everyone wore clothes, it would be a bit different. But it's
Well,
like,
he's a
anyway, sorry.
he's a what? He's not a who. He doesn't have to subscribe to any of your like, social norms, does he? It's not even the same species.
I mean, I think that was just their discrimination. But cool.
Nah, he's free to do as he likes. He's a big green hairy dude. Like, whatevs, man.
It's just a little bit strange, that's all. As an adult seeing that, I'm just like, wait, what? I
mean,
get reality. I'm not really thinking of it, but I'm just like slightly confused.
I mean, I mean, then after you're gonna be pushing that. If you think of it like that level, Emmanuel, it's a bit too meta because like you're gonna start pushing into the wait. Is Winnie the Pooh not wearing underpants, or like it's gonna be one of those sort of commentary things.
Yeah, you're gonna do this stuff where you're just like, hang on a minute, Donald Duck's a pervert, Pluto's a
Yeah.
gimp, because Goofy's wearing clothes, but Pluto ain't. He's pretending he's a dog. You're just like,
Yeah, it just if you think about it too much, it becomes like, oh wait, that's really disturbing. But it's like, it's like cartoon. Well, cartoon is a children's book.
Yeah.
It's just like, don't think about it too much.
You just kind of just go, you know what, whatever.
I mean,
Mickey Mouse's best friend is a dog. Mickey Mouse's pet is also a dog. Don't think about it. It's okay.
Yeah. So because like, if we want to talk about this, it's like, is he weird because he's naked, or is everyone else weird because they're wearing too many clothes? It could be a whole other thing like that, because it's just like, but you're wearing. It's like if you saw, I don't know, if you saw like orangutans and chimpanzees just wearing a suit, and it's just like, it's like you can, but it's just a bit. It would just look a bit out there, right? It's like,
Yeah, that would be funny. Kitchen. Oh, yeah, there were. It was cool. Lots of little kind of, like you guys already said. They have like little jokes in there for any adult with their kids or just watch themselves. Yeah. I always like that.
but I feel like that's for most kids' movies nowadays. Well, I say most, but like family films are actually for the family, because there's always been like adult jokes. Well, more adult jokes in lots of like, even in like Disney IP. It's like certain jokes that you don't really understand unless you're an adult, and there's certain jokes you can just laugh at because you're a kid. It's like
It's the difference between Simpsons and Family Guy, where the Simpsons do adult jokes and they just kind of go over your head, and you don't really notice it until you visit them. Whereas Family Guy, you probably shouldn't have a young kid watching Family Guy because it's not subtle enough.
yes, actually, yeah, that's probably, yeah, that is that's actually well said. That's probably the best way you could probably describe it. It's just like this. Yeah, this film is definitely more well, it teeters on like Family Guy a bit.
Well, there's stuff like the swingers party, which is just a complete background detail that you don't even. That's just for the adults to look out for. Like, a kid's not gonna know what the fuck that is, or even to look out for it. Like, at worst, they're gonna go, "Why are they putting the keys in a fishbowl?" But like that's easy. Like it's not something that's like egregious, or it's like a joke that's like dwelt upon. It's just like a little background thing.
Yeah.
Or where a joke that the kids might like a bit more is where he's making the Christmas tree dropper, the little fairy, and he's like searching through the house, and he's like, precious family heirloom, but hammers smashing it to pieces. And it's like, all right, even as a kid, you're like, all right. And somebody goes, cool, jewelry, let's break it apart. And it's just like, that's fun. That's funny even for kids. It's like, you go, yeah. As an adult, you go, yeah. I see the comedy. It's not exactly funny anymore. But then you go, oh wait, no, because I grew out of that sort of comedy. What the comedy I like was a little more, let's say, highbrow, like swingers parties.
Yeah. Yeah, because especially because like a lot of like the humor like comes from, I think a lot of it comes from the dialogue, like more than you'd think of it, or like more than you'd expect. Like it's more dialogue based than like slapstick based.
Yeah, yeah. That's like all of that, all of the slapstick stuff. I think is brilliant. And you know, like it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about how like this this has become part of me reassessing how much I like Jim Carrey because a lot of the things that I was really laughing at, I found out are just things that he was improvising and weren't even in the script. Like the line where he's like, "Oh, dinner with myself at 6:30. I can't cancel that again." That was one of them. I was really laughing at that. He just
Oh,
improvised it. And then another one is the scene where he's directing his dog. like that apparently was just him like having fun with Ron Howard and like taking the piss out of how he directs, and then Ron Howard found it so funny that he just kept it in.
That's
Wait,
something amazing.
which bit with his dog?
Where he's like directing his dog, and yeah,
To be Rudolph.
The nose, yeah, lose the nose. It wasn't working.
But that seems to happen in a lot of the films that Jim Carrey was in. Like there was a film earlier in his career called Me, Myself, and Irene, and there's a scene where he finds a dildo and starts playing around with it on screen. That was something that they found on set, and he thought, I'm going to just use it as.
As you do.
what a weird thing to find on set.
But he was like, I'm definitely doing this, and the director, I can't remember, was the director for that one of the Farrellys? It might have
Yeah,
been.
that's the parodies, yeah.
Yeah, they found it really funny, but like, I think that's just the infectious nature of Jim Carrey.
Yeah. I think he's like, I don't know. It's kind of, yeah. I think casting him as the Grinch is just perfect. It's like, I think it's quite easy for the Grinch to seem mean spirited, but I think when you've got someone like Jim Carrey playing him, it kind of like dilutes it a bit because it is just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of brings so much like manic energy to it that he kind of seems a bit more like random. Like it's not necessarily like as calculated and
Yeah.
mean. Like it is something that just kind of comes to him in the moment, and then he just kind of goes like, "Yeah, that'd be great," and then
Yeah.
like it occurs to him later that it's like, "Oh, this is shit." Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah. I was laughing, but there was something I was thinking to say. But I can't. Oh yeah. When you're talking about the improvisation, I was watching something with Camilla the other day that kind of reminded me of just how much comedian actors improv and how much at times they're expected to improv as well, or they'll just go into a scene. It's not properly scripted. It is just like, this is the sort of idea, go for it. And it was the guy who plays
And he plays what?
the guy who plays Ant-Man, huh? Paul Rudd. Yeah, we watched this GQ. So we just come across GQ. I can't remember what it was, but he was bringing up the fact that all the kind of films he was in, talking through them, I was just like, I would not want to be a comedian actor, but then I'm not a comedian, so there's that. But it's just like there's so much improv in it that's just kind of expected in the role a lot of the times. So it's not all directors are like that, don't get me wrong, of course. But you have directors who are like, all right, most of it's scripted, but we have these few parts that are basically like figure out your own sketch to it or what you think is funny in the moment, then we're going to keep it in the film. Kind of thing. There's, yeah, lots of stuff like that.
I think it's also like kind of a testament to like the writers as well, because they kind of have to match his energy so that when he is improvising, you can't really tell. And like there's some jokes like when he jumps on the bed and he does his answering machine message. And it's like, if you utter one syllable, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish. But to fax me, do the star key. That, but it's like you had to plan that. Like he could. There's no possible way he could have just. That was like a scripted joke, but that's the absolute like energy that he was doing with it, and it's like yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So like yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice when you can kind of improv and like the stuff that's already written down is like matching it.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, sorry, go on, Rob.
No, I was just agreeing.
You got a blanket too.
I've got a. Oh yeah, I've got a blanket too. The difference is though is that mine makes me look like the peak of a snowy mountain, but you look like you're at the barber's.
Yes, because this film just gives you that warm, cozy feeling in with 20 degrees. Yes.
I was gonna say with the glasses, you look like Gandhi.
More Ben Kingsley than Cat.
That's probably. What's on your T-shirt?
It's an ice cream with the screen mask on.
Ice cream.
Scream for ice cream.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hang on a minute. You
Ice
were
cream.
wearing the Halloween shirt at
Oh, that's a
first.
jumper. There's the
You're
jumper.
like some kind of magic man.
I see you want to really go against this Christmas.
Yeah, we're meant to do the Christmas jumpers, but
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a really good idea.
Well, I did.
It's April.
Well, for anyone watching,
It's April, you fools.
for anyone watching, pretend we're wearing Christmas jumpers.
Oh, April's Fools. That's a good one. Yes.
Yeah, that's the reason for this pick, man. Because it fell on April.
No other reason.
It was all planned. Shall
We
we?
should have really had the call before 12 o'clock
We did.
in the morning.
I mean, we
Oh,
did start.
right, yeah.
Because
I'm wrong
after
with you.
12 is when April Fools is sort of over.
Yeah, because it's the day, isn't it?
It's the
I was gonna
deadline
say
that I had
you
I mean-
just arrived late.
to-
I did arrive late.
There was
Yes.
some really there was some April Fools this morning that got me. there was one that said that Prince Harry had been cast in the new Star Wars film, but I was like, what?
Yes,
Oh, that's what that
like-
was about this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair though, it was for the Mandalorian, and I kind of went, I could probably see it, man. Yeah. Wouldn't put it past him.
Oh, I was so annoyed. And then I realised what day it was, and I was like, well,
Is it-
I'm annoyed, but that's
Did-
okay.
Did
I
you not?
believe nothing on this day.
The one
Outside
I
the-
saw. Oh,
I could
you
just
go.
see it. Just Prince Harry comes out and goes, "Hey John, can I be in Mandalorian?" And John Favreau's like, "Yeah, well." Anyway, I gotta go somewhere else now. Somewhere, my ghost director's handling it today. Bye.
My planet
just
needs
like-
me.
There he goes.
Yeah, my favorite one that I saw was like there was a meteor passing by the planet that's about 12 platypuses long. I'm like, oh, weird. Okay, what the fuck? That's just like the most random thing I could have thought. Like, but even for like an April Fool's joke, it's like, yeah, it was like 12 platypuses big. It's just like, why did you not even like give 12 platypus? Okay,
That's pretty scary, man. I wouldn't want to fuck with 12 platypuses.
neither would I actually, because like, but it's just like it's just a random level length of measurement
Yeah.
of length or so, yeah, whatever. But it's just like so random. It's like these days are for April 1st. It's such a random day because of all those weird jokes and stuff. You can pretty much get away with most things. It's like the best April 1st joke is definitely the minus calorie water. It's so healthy that it can take away calories. That's minus calorie water. Okay, that's just
Anyway, let's do. Do you want to do favourite scenes?
Yeah, mine's the one that I mentioned.
Yeah, I
It's
think
when
everyone's a
he's
bit tired today. I just went out. I was went to like drinking
Favourite
It's good.
scenes.
scenes, favorite scenes. Actually, no, I should go last. Don't I? Go, Ben. You go first.
Probably the montage where he's stealing the presents. Literally, I think that whole sequence is just good with the song as well and all that. And it just escalates, and he just gets even more. It gets sillier and more cartoony. How he just manages to get them, and then there's the recurring thing with the cat, and it just goes after him every 5 minutes.
That's such a freaky fucking thing as well, because it's like when like his face is like superimposed onto it, and it's like just spinning,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of like I think if I'd seen that like as a really young kid, I'd have been really freaked out. Whoa, like Simon there. I'd have been like, mm. Okay.
I think mine was the song, to be honest. It's just so classic. Who's singing the song? Does anyone know?
I don't know. No.
No idea.
I thought it was from the original cartoon.
It might be the original, yeah, but I can't remember who it is.
That makes sense. Still don't know the voice, but that would make sense. The Grinch. Loving
The
that.
Grinch.
Anyway, but yeah, I think my favorite.
Fair. I'm probably gonna go with the when he lifts the sleigh, or when he's like trying to just pull it off of the the precipice and everything. Just for like that little moment where I kind of went, oh fuck! I hope he doesn't drop it. But I do also think the bit where he has a go at Whoville, because they've kind of like lost what it's about, rather than, I mean, they've confused it with buying stuff rather than having a good day with your loved ones and stuff. I think when he's like chewing them out, that's funny. Also, actually, the one where because I do appreciate like they don't just make him like a saint at the end of it. Like he still has kind of dicky tendencies, like kind of at the end. And, like his when Martha May gives the ring back to the mayor, and she's like, "My heart belongs to someone else." And then she looks at the Grinch, and then the Grinch is like, and he's like just dancing around. And then he like gives him his hand. He's just like, "No hard feelings." And then he goes to shake it, and he's just like, he's just laughing in his face. I'm just like, that's wonderful. I love it. I've got lots of moments. Honestly, this film really made me laugh. Really liked it.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I think. Well, there's quite a few scenes. Yeah, I mean, even though it's like not my favorite film or whatever, there are quite a few scenes that could be a favorite thing. I think like on a personal level, I don't know if I'd say it's my favorite scene so much. It's just one that I want to talk about. But it's there's one scene that really reminded me of Alec, and it's
Just the one.
Or is it
Oh,
the hate, double hate, entirely.
it's the one where like Cindy Hughes goes to like get him to come out, and she's talking. I can't remember the exact word, but she's talking about the award, and he's like, and he's like asking what people thought of him and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, the back and forth was just really making me think about.
is it the bit where he's like, "Yeah, you won"? And he's like, "I won." And then he goes, so they were losers.
Yeah.
Because that was actually a bit where like Eb just kind of went, yeah, that's you.
Not quite. Have you even won yet?
Oh,
That's
so
sad.
high.
Whoa!
It would be
That's
you if you'd ever won
fine.
an award, which you haven't.
I'll
This is
have
where I
Haven't
you.
get my
even won a
awards.
week yet.
Yes, I have.
When?
Lion King.
Did he win that?
Yeah, I did.
Was that his first win?
Yeah, it was.
Ah.
And before
That's a footnote.
before that, I won a Ninja Turtles Lego set because I
Oh, well done.
sent in a rap to a Ninja Turtles magazine when I was 12.
You
and that
sent
was the
in a
last
rat.
Rat.
rap.
Oh.
Imagine getting that.
This is my best rap.
Send
I
him a
put it-
Lego set.
How the fuck did he get this in an envelope?
How is it right?
Oh, what's in this box? I can feel it moving.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
So yeah, I have won something.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. What's your favourite fucking scene?
Who?
You.
I think what I'm learning tonight is mine and Pat's fives for enjoyment are very different.
I suppose it's probably the same as Ben's. It's probably the one scene I genuinely found funny, whereas the rest of it I was going through the motions. It's like I said earlier. It's a film that I liked when I was a kid, but now I just don't really feel it. But him stealing the presents and feeling so proud of himself was quite amusing. Yeah, that'd be it. Like it's not a bad film. It's just one I don't really care about, I guess.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd ever like choose to watch it, but I definitely wouldn't be upset to watch it now.
Yeah, I mean, we've had films where I'd rather we'd never watched it again. Like if I was told in a year's time I had to watch this again, I probably would. But it's for me. As I've gotten older, there's probably a disconnect.
I do think though, there's stuff in it, like even just on a technical level, where it's like you put in quite a lot of effort here. Where it's like when he's running up like the mountain and that, and it's like that was a practical mountain. Like obviously it's not as big, but like he had to run up something, and then there was like a green screen, obviously, through the sky and that. But I think when you you look at Marvel films and like they're all green screen, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, this is probably like the equivalent of that, but like 20 years ago, and like it still looks like so much fucking better, and it's like kind of tying into like the art style and stuff like that. Like, I don't think this was like a lazy film.
I don't know.
Like, I feel like there was a lot of effort put into it.
You know, when it was filmed, it was actually at the time it was the biggest set in Universal history.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot of effort.
Is that the reason why it's like my first film that's over 100 million to make?
Was it
Yeah.
over 100 million?
120 million.
123 million.
Oh, okay, 123 million. Yeah.
Nice.
Blimey.
So we're all now in the top 7 most expensive films.
I miss those days though. You'd never get $123 million to make a Dr. Zeus film now.
You might if you got Jim Carrey in it. So it's like, you know,
Yeah.
and all those casts for like in Community, and actually all those people are doing like TV series now. Oh, what's the name of that? Who is the name of the lady who had the crush on the Grinch again? It's
I forgot.
May Hoovier is what I want to. Yes, like yeah.
Laura May Hoovier.
I was like, I just know her as. Oh wait, isn't she the lawyer from like The Good Wife and like
The Good
Fight?
Wife?
You've never watched the TV series The Good Wife?
No.
It's a great lawyer show. Okay, no,
I'm just surprised that it's been referenced.
Okay.
All I know her from is she's like the camp. She's like the camp leader in Adam's Family Values.
Wasn't she also in Arrested Development? Who am I thinking of someone else?
I think you might be thinking of someone else.
Yeah, I think I've got to Google this.
I think you're thinking of Jennifer Walters.
I might be. Bitch, I might.
To be or not to be, which I might.
It might be. Okay, yes. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I am thinking of Jessica Walters. Yeah.
I know your brain better than you do.
So, where were we? Oh, right, yeah. Favorite scenes. Favorite scenes is where the guy got the clippers and did his own hair in and went inconceivable. Oh, wait, no, that's a whole other film, isn't it? No, the favorite scene is where he is talking to himself with the echoes, and afterwards he's like, "Hello
Oh,
there,
no.
hello there. You're an idiot. I'm an idiot. You're an idiot." And he's like, and he gets cross, and he gets really cross, and he's like, "But I'm gonna whisper. By the time it refracts, the vibration refracts, I will be able to hear you. You're an idiot." And I was like, yeah. Even as a child, I was like, yeah, that's peak good. That's great writing, peak writing. That's also the same sort of comedy I can imagine and enjoy as an adult. It's that was a great scene, best scene.
I would also like to say, I know I fought against the dog from Gremlins being our best actor, but the dog in this is fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
Like,
See how easy it is.
yeah, you just hold a little treat off camera, and then it just like.
Yes.
But no, when he's just yelling at him, and he's just doing like crazy, he's just doing this giant speech. He's like, "What do you think, Max?" And then Max is just going. Like the little reaction shots are just fucking hilarious.
It's like those are CGI for some reason because they're almost too perfect, right? It's just like it's kind of like when he's like is doing the sleigh and he's like, "Oh, I said 3/16. This is 4." I can't remember what the measurements the spanner, and he gives it the spanner back, and it feels like the dog Max rolled its eyes, and it was like, "All right," and he just grabs the spanner and walks away. It's like, did they CGI those like reactions because those are almost too perfect?
I think it was all the dog, you know.
I think there's only one CGI effect with the dog, and you do notice it obviously because it's really bad.
Is it when he gets thrown in the snow, and gets booted out?
No, it's when the mayor kisses his butt.
Oh yeah, and his eyes just go.
And the eyes bulge, but like way too. I think that's the only one. I think the other ones are. I think the other reactions are all the dog. But it's just like it just looks so terminally unimpressed. It's just really expressive dog.
Especially when it rips off its own nose.
Yeah.
He goes, "Brilliant!" And it's just sit there. So while Jim Carrey goes on the fucking massive tirade. It is a peak level dog.
Peak level dog.
Is it as good as Hachiko? Don't
Yes, it's so much better than
know.
Hachiko.
There's lots of just like great moments in the film. Like, I could pick lots of not favorites, but just lots of scenes I like.
Yes, I mean, there's a lot to like in this film, even if it's not the right season to watch this film. But there's still a lot of things to like in this film, and it's like it's not too bad a film, right? It's just not the right season, and that's of course again to begin where we ended. That's the reason why I chose this film. It's got good morals, got good moral points, and it's a generally feel good film. That's not necessarily about Christmas, but of course it's about Christmas.
Yeah.
And I believe
think-
when we started this film, it was streaming before 11 o'clock, so it should say streamed on April 1st. So it should hopefully when we go back on the YouTube video, it will say this was streamed on April 1st. At
Yeah,
least
I think
hope
it
so.
should be.
That'd be
Yeah.
ideal.
That would be ideal. That'd be perfect.
Just barely made it.
I mean, I mean that's fine. That's fine as well. It barely made it, but it's just good.
I think as well, like I appreciate that it's not. I don't know. I don't know if I'd call this like overt. I don't know if I'd call it like beats you over the fucking head with what it's trying to say that much. It doesn't seem like it's. I feel like it's all character. Like it's all sort of. I guess the word is congruent. It's just yeah. I think everything that's said is like congruent with the setting. Like it doesn't feel like anyone's stopping to go, Christmas is really cool, guys, and we should we should just forget about the gifts and hang out with our families. All right. I don't feel like anyone's doing that. I feel like the script is sort of saying that sort of message, but without it being too obvious, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Everyone's really fucking tired. I like this pick. This was a good pick. Well done, Simon's Dice.
I'm very surprised by your scores
Who's?
compared to last week's film.
Yeah, Alex.
Oh,
Yeah, because I can't really. I said at the beginning, like just looking for contrivances. Worst I can say is like I don't think anyone yodels on this mountain.
I don't know why you go looking for contrivances. It's such a backwards way of doing it.
No.
But we've been here before. Let's move on.
It's too late.
guys, it's Christmas.
I'll
You calm down.
I'll start you up and then I'll just fuck off again.
Okay.
What was the other one? I feel like I had another. I feel like I did have another one, but
where did they get the second Christmas tree from?
nah, that made sense. That was okay.
Okay.
Now he said it, I want to find it now. What was the other thing I had a problem with? But I didn't really have a problem with it. Oh, there should have probably been someone in the back room of like the post office, because that fucking conveyor belt machine thing is a fucking menace. If someone was in there, as there should have been, Grinch can't do a whole lot. But again, I'm really not gonna throw my toys out the pram for it.
Yeah, like most post offices, everyone seems to always be at the back and not at the front.
Yeah.
Meaning you have to wait an hour to be seen.
But I mean, the contrivances is cut away because they have a machine that says fragile and it stamps the shit out of things. And I'm like, no, that's perfect. That's exactly what happens in the post office because that's happened to many shit that's been posted to me before. It says fragile, but it's been stepped on like piece of shit.
Yeah, this is a fragile item. Let's just stamp the fuck out of it.
Bang, fragile. Yeah, that's exactly what's happened to me as well.
And then all you hear is smash.
This is the thing though. Like anything I can point out, like it's very very absurd on purpose. So like
Yeah.
I can't have a go at a lot of it. So
So I think we've run out of the steam. So let's go for Rob. Double bill?
Double bill.
Double bill. What is your double bill?
double bill for a double bob. Woo!
50 kill bills. What?
So my double bill. So my thinking, right, was I kind of wanted to do something that was sort of like a bit of an homage to how like movie theaters used to do double bills in like the 80s. And so they used to like have sort of like an A movie and a B movie, and usually it would be like some kind of like genre theme. So like you'd have like your sci-fi double bills and like your horror double bills and whatever. So what I'm going for is a classic A movie B movie combination in the sci-fi genre. So the A movie is Alien, and the B movie is Dark Star.
Darkstar.
Yeah.
Whoa, Dark
Okay.
Star.
He,
Alex
he-
already looking for contrivances.
That star's not dark.
That's not
One
a
out
dark.
of 10.
That's not a dark star. That's just a balloon.
It's a star. It's a star.
and you said it's in the classic style of like, how do you explain it again?
What do you mean?
Like the reason you picked the films?
A
Oh
movie,
right,
B
so,
movie.
so I wanted to do like how they used to do B movies in like not B movies, sorry, how they used to do double bills in like the 80s. So the idea would be that you kind of like had the A movie which would draw people in, and then the B movie would be there to like take or leave it. But the whole idea was that it was like a night out where you kind of like had an experience. So the experience that I'm giving you is people in space, but specifically workers in space. And yeah,
Wait, did we
Ooh.
not talk? Is this the John Carpenter film, right?
yeah.
All right, yeah. Well, I was thinking, wait, why do I remember that name? All right, yeah. This is the film he did before. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah, cool.
I think it might have been his first film. I'm not sure.
It might be.
And Rob, what's the order?
The order. So this is another thing, right? So nobody follows the order, so it doesn't really matter.
Alec doesn't follow the order.
You can watch
I
it
only-
either way, and they're
I
fine.
only don't follow the order because no one else follows the order. If you all followed the order, I'd follow the order, but no one does, so I don't.
I do.
But like, so the thing is, right? So if you're going by like the A movie, B movie thing, then it would be Alien and then Dark Star. But there's another way to do it because they're both written by Dan O'Bannon, and so
Hmm.
if you want to see like an evolution in, well, partly how much budget he was able to secure. But like, if you want to see like an evolution in his writing, then you can watch Dark Star first and then Alien. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's up to you really.
I might do it that way.
But
I think
Yeah.
doing it that way will benefit in the long run.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so good one. This is much better.
Well, I mean, if this becomes another Phoenix, the skin I live in thing, yeah, it'd be like a long conversation about it, right? Oh,
Oh, and there's also another thing as well, actually, right? So last year, my double bill was like, it was kind of sharing how I have to watch horror films because horror films really get to me. So I always have to watch something that's going to take my mind off it after. And you can do this that way as well. So if you watch Alien first and you get scared by it, then you can watch Dark Star and think, oh, that's all right. even though there's something terrifying happening in space, there's also something really silly happening in space.
Can
Well, I mean, like
you imagine being given a choice? It's like, please let me be on the Dark Star ship. Please let me be on the Dark Star ship. Let me on the
Or-
Dark Star ship.
Or you could have something nice and gentle leading up to the scary shit.
Exactly. So it's flexible. You can do what you want.
I mean, like, if you want to say like that, you might as well went all fucking like Spaceballs, right? Like it's like a completely comedy, right? It's like, oh right, yeah, completely silly. Oh, Jam is on the satellite. Yeah, it's either way.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it would be a fun double bill because like, yeah, I
Dark
just
Star
think like
and Alien, not
I
Aliens.
just think like
Alien.
that Dark Star completely takes the edge off of Alien, and I think we've had a lot of heavy films lately, so I think it's about time that, well, not about time because the Grinch was also like it, but I think we should introduce more silly films, which is what Dark Star is.
And the Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
Thank God I didn't roll a very serious film then. Okay.
No, but that would have been funny in itself, though, if you were just like April Fool's Schindler's List.
Oops, it's the Passion of Christ.
Oh damn! Yeah, that could have been one on the list. Damn it! Oh, but anyway, we got this film. It's fine. So yeah, so Dark Star and Alien. All right, I go. Well, where can we watch it?
So Alien is on Disney Plus, and Dark Star is on Apple TV.
Whip out
Yeah,
that Apple TV.
Just hearing Alien is on Disney Plus is quite funny.
Yeah, I had this.
There's loads of like really heavy stuff on Disney Plus now.
You could watch The Little Mermaid or Alien.
Well, I mean, like, just
Both will
Disney-
have nudity to varying degrees.
What?
no comment. No comment. It's just-
Oh,
What?
oh.
no genital mutilation, I'm afraid.
No genital mutilation. Sorry, Manuel. We know it's your favorite.
I am so confused. Please don't say that.
All of your films have genital mutilation in them.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Ready Player One.
Antichrist, Love Exposure, Skin I'd Live In, all of
I
them.
thought you were going to say Love Thy Neighbour then.
Yeah, that one. Time to mutilate your genitalia.
And it gets
Anyway.
off on it.
Yeah. Fucking kink shame.
So
Anyway,
confused. I refute these claims.
I put
If
the
you
E in
make
refute.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl, I think they will have things to say to you.
They're just visual mutilation.
E.
What did she say, Pat?
I said Shark Boy and Lava Girl is just visual mutilation.
Yeah, it was.
Oh man.
All right.
Just
All right, I
mutilated
think it's
the
time.
English language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care, yeah.
Good night, everybody. Happy birthday, Ben.
Thank you. Good night, guys. Thanks for coming today.
All right.
Thanks
No
for a lovely
worries.
day.
Bye.
It's great.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Take
You
care.
guys are there.